£60 to £70 games, what the duck? So I want to talk about £60 to £70 games and focusing on PC releases. We are seeing this more and more of late, with AAA titles skyrocketing to these prices come release day. Now, I remember back in around 2012 to 2015 when most AAA titles were about £30. In fact, I remember purchasing BioShock Infinite for £30 in 2013, Fallout 4 for about £30 in 2015, and for some reason £30 always felt like the sweet spot. A price I was happy paying, and a price where if that game was good, then I felt that I'd really got my money's worth of that game. Of course, this was years ago, and obviously prices are going to rise, and we need to count for inflation. But while prices have risen, for many people their wages haven't. Not only have wages stayed the same, but we are also experiencing a cost of living crisis. Now, I'm not knocking companies for choosing to raise prices. Games aren't cheap to make, and there's all the additional costs like marketing for starters. Storefronts like Steam take a cut from games also, which is why we've seen companies like EA and Ubisoft, for example, try to move away and sell games on their own stores. Although in many cases they've since returned to also selling their games on Steam once again. Plus, there have been suggestions that perhaps prices have been raised to try and push people more towards Game Pass and other gaming subscriptions. But still, I've got this nagging feeling that maybe they've gone up too much. Recently, I chatted with my friend about prices, and the one thing we could both agree on was that with higher prices came higher expectations. At £60 to £70, neither of us wanted to be beta testers playing an unfinished game, which we have seen recently when Redfall was released for $59.99 here in the UK. And while we expect to see a few bugs here and there, for £60 we would expect a great gaming experience and a very polished game. Not to mention £60 is just for the basic version of Redfall. The Bite Back edition is £83.99 on Steam at the moment, close to £100. The Bite Back edition isn't even a season pass for future content. Instead, it includes some extra skins and 2 further heroes when they are finally released. While mentioning Redfall, I also want to mention Back 4 Blood, a game which at release in the UK was £49.99. Now, Back 4 Blood isn't exactly in the £60 to £70 price bracket, but it was another game that wasn't well received at launch. It seems a lot of people had high expectations as they were expecting Left 4 Dead 3. Along with this expectation though of a new Left 4 Dead came a lot of other problems with the game, which I will save for another video. But both myself and my friends did wonder, had the price been lower, would expectations have been lower too? And would Back 4 Blood been a lot more popular than it is today? Darktide, for example, released for £32.99 in the UK, has had what I would consider a rocky launch, and there have been a lot of complaints centering around a lack of content similar again to Redfall. But I do feel the gaming community is willing to give Darktide a chance and wait for them to catch up, and I do wonder if this is possibly due to lower expectations thanks to its lower price tag. Now personally, I feel £60 to £70 is too much, and while I haven't covered everything to do with this topic, as it's a big topic to cover, it's just my opinion and how I feel about it, along with some of my reasons. Plus, I'm not saying that there is anything wrong or right about it, but rather, I'd love to read what you think and feel in the comments section below as to whether you feel £60 to £70 is too much to spend on a game.